Here is a quick video tutorial on how to obtain your size measurements for your chest, your bottom, your sleeve length, and everything like that, as well as figuring out how to take those measurements and cross-reference it to our size chart to figure out what size you might be in a jacket or a vest. So just a quick note, the numbers on the size chart is purely for the external points of the jacket or the vest, not so much the internal space when you factor in insulation, clothing, or lining. For this process, we recommend just 3 things. Number 1 is a tailor's tape, preferably in inches and centimeters. Don't use a construction measuring tape or anything like that. You'll need a soft, pliable tailor's tape. You'll also just need a few minutes of your time. And lastly, the best case scenario is if somebody else helps you with the measurements. So I'll start with my measurements and my specifications. Right now I am 6 feet, I'm 187 pounds. There are a few points of measurements that we highly suggest you grab: your chest, your bottom hem, your sleeve length, and your front length. Now the main keystone of all of these measurements is the chest measurement. To capture this measurement, you'll take your tailor's tape, you'll find the widest point of your chest, and you'll simply capture that measurement with enough little wiggle room. The measurement that I've captured right now is 101 centimeters. Now, the next measurement we're gonna do is the bottom hem measurement. This coincides with, just a little bit below your belt line, or if you need to, you can measure the widest point of your belly if it exceeds the kind of belt line area. And as you can see, I am wearing a belt, I'm wearing a t-shirt, I'm wearing just a regular pair of jeans, and right below the belt line, this is where you want to capture the measurement. And as you can see, I am 96 centimeters on the bottom hem. Now, before we go any further, another thing to note is if you plan on wearing super heavy, thick layers underneath the jacket, I usually suggest put on a thicker sweater or a wool knit and then do your measurements, so that way you'll be a little bit more confident as to your baseline sizing and how it correlates to a jacket size. I'll explain that further down the video. So the next measurement is the sleeve length, and that usually coincides with your height as well as your front jacket length as well. However, it is a good idea to double check and confirm your sleeve length when comparing your measurements to the size chart, just in case. Keeping your arm straight and your arm relaxed, you can kind of capture the measurement here. And as expected, my arm comes in at a 64 centimeter measurement. Lastly, we will do the front length. So generally you want to start it right here, which is at the base of your neck, at the top of the shoulder. And you want to let that kind of go down the front. And usually I like my jackets to sit just below the belt line, so I usually aim for measurements around here, which comes in at a 62 centimeter front length. So to reiterate, here's the measurements. I have a chest of 101 centimeters, bottom hem of 96 centimeters, a sleeve length of 64, and a front length of 62 centimeters. Now that you've done all the hard work, now's the easy part. So you take your chest measurement and your bottom hem measurement, only those 2 measurements. Now it's time to compare your chest and your bottom hem measurement to the size chart with a certain amount of centimeters added. So we usually have 3 suggestions in regards to how you want your jacket to fit. For example, if you want a more snug and tailored fit, we usually suggest adding 6 to 8 centimeters to your chest and your bottom hem, and that equals your jacket measurement. But if you want a more traditional fit, it's going to be anywhere from 8 to 12 centimeters added. And if you want a more relaxed, effortless fit, you're going to want to do 12 to upwards of 15 centimeters added to your base measurements. And obviously what that does is that just accounts for the room you have inside the jacket or the vest. Now, not every single piece of ours is meant to fit the same. For example, some of our vests, like our Gunslinger, our Journeyman, our High Noon, those tend to have a smaller, slimmer profile that fit a little bit more tailored. So normally for that, we suggest adding anywhere between 4 to 8 centimeters. And that is your waistcoat style vest measurement. With our regular bikers or truckers, I usually recommend kind of adding the suggested fit range, which is 8 centimeters to 12 centimeters. And then lastly, for our field jacket designs, those are meant to fit a little looser. So I usually recommend adding 12 to 15 centimeters, and that equals your base size for the field jackets. So my measurements coming in at 101 centimeters in the chest, we add 8 centimeters to that, and that equals, 109, which is 110, which is just about perfect for the medium size, which is what I wear. And then with the bottom hem, you add 8 centimeters to 96 centimeters, leaving me with 104 centimeters, which falls just about perfectly in line with the medium size. This jacket that I'm wearing right here is a medium, and the jacket measurement comes in at 114 centimeters in the chest, which is obviously 13 extra centimeters to my physical chest measurement. And this is the prescribed fit. A little relaxed, but still very clean and very proper. So with the 13 centimeters of added room, I can layer underneath this pretty comfortably, or I can just wear it with a thinner layer like a t-shirt and still have loads of room to do what I do. Now I'm wearing one of our traditional trucker style designs. And I'm also wearing the medium, and this is also the prescribed fit. There's enough room for me to obviously do this up with comfort, and there's just enough room throughout the entire garment for me to move around and, again, wear it comfortably. So with a more traditional trucker style jacket, the chest measurement usually comes in at 110 centimeters and the bottom hem measurement at 104. So this is a more traditional example on how to extrapolate your body measurements into a jacket measurement. Now, lastly, I am wearing our Journeyman leather vest, and this vest is a little bit more trim and tailored to the body, as you can see, and that is the whole point. The vest measurement right now comes in at 104 centimeters in the chest. So that's only 3 centimeters extra from my base chest measurement, and that works totally fine in this case with a thinner layer up top. And the fact that you don't have arms, it's a little bit less constricting, but still having a very nice taut and tailored waistcoat fit, which is, again, the point of this specific vest. And again, to reiterate, there's 3 kinds of fit with the sizing. So the slim fit is adding 6 to 8 centimeters to your chest and bottom hem. Our standard fit is 8 to 12 centimeters added to your chest and bottom hem. And the relaxed fit is 12 to 15 centimeters added to your chest and bottom measurement. Now I'm going to take it one step further and demonstrate what it looks like when I wear a small, a medium, and a large of the same design jacket to illustrate the different types of fit. First up, I'm wearing the small size jackknife, which has a chest measurement of 104 centimeters, and it feels very kind of snug and slim. I can get away with wearing this, however, it's a little restricting in the shoulders, in the chest, and in just general mobility right now. I could potentially wear the jacket open to kind of relieve some of the tightness. For the most part, you know, looks fine, feels okay, but it's not overly conducive to be worn done up, especially if I want to layer anything else underneath other than a t-shirt. And this is very indicative of our slim fit. With only 3 extra centimeters added from my chest measurement, I can kind of feel it being very slim. Now I'm wearing the exact same design, the jackknife, but in medium, and now this is the prescribed standard fit, with a jacket chest measurement of 110 centimeters, giving me 9 extra centimeters on top of my base chest measurement. This is a little bit more traditional and conducive to what I would normally wear. I can move in this pretty freely, and I also have the ability and option to layer underneath decently comfortably. The jacket is easy when it is buttoned up, and it's even easier when it is unbuttoned. And lastly, right now, I'm wearing the large for a relaxed fit. With a jacket chest measurement coming in at 114 centimeters, that's 13 extra centimeters on top of my baseline chest measurement at 101 centimeters. So with the relaxed fit, it's obviously in the name, it's a lot more relaxed. I have the option and the ability to layer underneath. Between all 3 sizes, the main thing that moves is the chest and the bottom hem. There are slight modifications in the sleeve length as per each size, and there's slight modifications and growth in the jacket length as well. But between all 3, you're mainly going to see it and feel it in the chest and bottom hem measurements. Now that is the quick over-under as to how to size and what to do with it to find your jacket size. If you have any remaining or additional questions, shoot us an email, shoot us a DM. Either myself or Josh will get back to you and get you the answers that you need. But if not, thank you for watching. Hopefully it was informative, and we'll catch you next time.